It's time to address it. It's long past due to address this topic. Some of these spiritualists out here are fake as fuck. My name is Deja, and I hope you find serenity.
I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity.
And I don't even think they mean to be fake. It's just there is this lack of truly integrated wisdom. A lot of these people out here are just surface level with their spirituality. But when it comes to truly embodying the spiritual lessons that are presented to them and integrating them and using them as far as how they show up in the physical realm, that's where we're lacking. That's where we're lacking. And that's why you could get into a relationship with a spiritual person, a person who presents themselves as being super spiritually connected, and yet their actions aren't showing any real wisdom or knowledge at all. You can get with someone who seems to know everything, but when you look at their actions, it's like they know nothing at all. So let's get into it. I saw a video about this by the creator and creatress, author, model, Ebony Davis, who I know she's located in Atlanta, but I don't think she's from Atlanta. I'm not sure, but I'll tag her here. At the time that she posted this TikTok, I had been deeply, reflecting on this particular topic. And I had been thinking about doing a YouTube video about it, but seeing her video really helped to put it into better words. So I have to give her that shout out as I begin to share more about this topic and go a little deeper. But I will link the TikTok that she posted in the description so that you can watch her video as well. She speaks about it so eloquently. And then what really pushed me like, okay, it's time to make a video is then there's another creator. I don't really know this person's name. I've seen him be reposted a few times. And in this case, he was reposted by this page called Medicine Festival, which I'll share a screenshot. And if I can find the link, I'll share a link as well to that video. And he talks about the same topic, basically about how knowledge is not wisdom without embodiment. And if you don't know what embodiment is, it's taking these lessons and actually bringing them here to the earth, to our earthly body. There's so many things, and I've shared about this before, how as you're going through your awakenings, you can kind of get to a point where you've really left this earthly plane because you're learning all this stuff that's all up here. It's all about spirit. But there's the need to fully integrate and ground back into the body, because the body is how we show up in this physical realm. Whether you think it's a hologram or it's not really real or not, when I touch my arm, I feel it, okay? When the rain falls on me, I feel it. When I get burned by a fire, I feel it, okay? So we cannot deny the reality of the physical realm. And whenever we deny it, I think that's when people can run the risk of going into spiritual psychosis, of losing their mind, like not understanding why they're even here, or what is the connection to actually being on earth. And it's like, if you just want to be spirit, if you want to let go of all the earthly pleasures and everything that it has to do with being in a body, and if you are like, I am one with all things, it's true that we are all connected. That's true. But it doesn't mean that I'm not actively choosing as a spirit to embody this vessel. And yes, this vessel has differences from that lemon tree across from me right now, that papaya plant right there, from my dogs. Yes, we are all connected. But identifying and noticing how we navigate the different moving parts does not equal separation. It's just embodying fully this vessel that I am in. That is, of course, inevitably connected to all that is. But if I get to be too in the spirit realm, to the point where I can't even show up and exist in the physical realm, now I'm lost. Now I'm fully lost. I think this happens because when we're starting to learn, a lot of it is very much in the mind And in this, like in the crown chakra area, the third eye and crown chakra area, as you're starting to understand all these different things about, you know, spirituality and what it is to be, you know, this, how can I describe it? To be this energetic force that comes from God, this thing that is very much unseen, is now in this very much seen, this fleshly body. But the thing is, you can never deny the body, right? Okay, yes, I'm in this body for a while, for this lifetime, and then it's going to go back to the earth, you know, but that matters. This body is the only way that I can touch, taste, feel, interact with this realm. So it does matter. So when I take a spiritual lesson, like for example, something that I learned when I was, the lesson started to come through to me in high school, but I didn't really get it until like the end of college. And it's this lesson about not lying. You know, I had to first go through my awakening and reflect on this thing, because a lie is something that you can't really touch, right? A lie or the truth is something that you can't really touch, okay? It's something that's kind of unseen. But I learned through the experience of lying to others and also the experience of being lied to, I noticed how that actually was affecting my body. When I'm lying to someone, I'm feeling the palpitations. I'm feeling discomfort in my physical body. When I'm being lied to and I'm finding out that I'm being lied to, I'm feeling like my heart exploding. I'm feeling, you know, the heat rising as I feel anger, you know. So there is a connection between what's happening in the unseen and what's happening physically in our bodies. That's why we have this thing called somatic healing. And if you're not familiar, you need to get right into it. Somatic healing is all about healing from emotional traumas and wounds, not just from traumas, but in general, healing and also like connecting through physical movement, through the body. You may have gone through something that you're holding on to emotionally. So again, it's not seen, but those emotions are actually creating physical problems. They can create diseases, they can create health problems. So some of those things need to be addressed, not just through like talk therapy and healing sessions, but also through actual physical embodiment, through dance, through movement, through singing, through receiving body work. So there's this need to always keep that integration of the seen and the unseen. So I give this example of, okay, I learned through being lied to when I was like in college and learning about the lies and stuff. And then I had to reflect, because I was like, well, I've lied to people many times. I lied to my parents all the time. And it took me sitting with myself and reflecting on, okay, what was my reasoning for lying? What is their reasoning for lying? How did my lies affect that other person? How did their lies affect me? And actually sitting with that lesson long enough to embody it, to take it into my body and say, okay, now I choose to tell the truth. Because I've learned the harm that lies can create. So now I've integrated this lesson. And integration is not just sitting and realizing something. It's now acting on it. It's now living my life and choosing to be honest. It's living my life and choosing not to lie, and finding moments where I might want to lie, or I might just tell a small lie and being like, why would I do that when I know that it's better to tell the truth? Okay, this is just one example. There are so many. So there's folks that you might see online that talk a good game. They talk a good game. And I know, because I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. I've met people. In particular, there's some folks that come to mind that came here to Costa Rica some years back. And like when you see how they present themselves on Instagram, it's like, oh, they know all this esoteric knowledge. They're so mystical. They're so in tune. They care about the earth. And then you meet them in person and it's nothing but drama and delusion and harm being created by them. And I'm just like, what is the disconnect? And it's because they know stuff, but they don't do anything about it. Besides taking what they know and letting it feed their ego and going and preaching something that they're not practicing. And that's the disconnect. That's why people get caught up with somebody like Nature Boy. If y'all aren't familiar with Nature Boy, I don't think I've ever referenced him in my videos, but now is the time. I think he was in Costa Rica for a while. I think he was in some other countries too. I really don't know his whole story because I kind of learned about him later, like when he was already kind of on his downfall as far as his public image. But he was online and he was extremely popular, speaking all this knowledge about reconnecting with nature, about eating plants, all this stuff, which you can hear it and be like, I agree with that. We should eat more plants. We should have access to clean water. We should be returning to nature. Yes, all these things are true. But then he's also a rapist. But then he's also manipulating all these women and men to come and be a part of his tribe and feel like funneling money from them to feed his ego. And then causing harm again and again and again and again and again. And I don't know him personally, so I don't know the ins and outs of everything. I just know what the stories that people have shared. But I've met people personally who've interacted with him and have shared stories about him with me as well. And I'm just like, this is a psychopath. He don't seem like a psychopath. When you see him, you think he's just a dude who knows a lot of stuff, who cares a lot about nature. But the reality is none of that knowledge was integrated, which is why I believe he's sitting in jail right now for rape. And that's the thing. That's why I always remind people, because I get people, and the reason I even became aware of him, I'll side note, the reason I became aware of him is because he had this tribe thing, and I was living in Costa Rica at the time and starting to share more of that. And people were like, are you like a part of the Nature Boy tribe? I can't remember what the name of it was. There was a name. Carbon Nation was what they were called. And people were asking me like, are you a part of Carbon Nation? And I was like, no, I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. But I was talking about some of the same things. I was talking about reconnecting with nature. I was in Costa Rica and talking about leaving the United States and stuff like that. So people started to link us together. And I realized I was following some of the Carbon Nation people because they were posting stuff about being in nature. And I was like, oh yeah, I like nature too. Yeah, right on. I don't know that it's a part of this whole other thing and that they're all just being influenced by this one particular creator. So this is why I'm always reminding folks on my platforms, don't ever put me on a pedestal. One thing about me, I'm going to share authentically. But I'm not here for you guys to just start to blindly follow me or anything like that. You don't even have to believe anything that I'm saying. I'm just sharing because that's what I like to do. And I'm sharing authentically like my real life and the lessons that are coming through for me because that helps me to integrate them. And then there's people who resonate with me. There's people who don't. And then we can have a dialogue about it. But I'm not recruiting people. People ask me all the time, like, can I come live with you? I'm like, we don't know each other. I don't want y'all to all come live with me and follow me and do whatever I say. That sounds horrible to me. That's not what we're on over here. And I have some friends, I'm in community with some people. But even that, it's not like there's a leader. It's not like we're all living the exact same lifestyle. We literally just ended up living in the same physical location, geographic location. We have some things in common. So we hang out. We're friends. And friendship has led to community, and that I know I can count on them if I need help with certain things, and they know they can count on me. But it's not like we're recruiting people, like come and be a part of our community and live this life with us and follow our lead. Like, no, live your life. You're the leader of your life. You deserve respect. You deserve autonomy. You deserve choice. You can change your mind. You can change things about your life. Ooh. So anyways, this is just an example. And there's so many, you might see people online and you love what they're sharing. You love what they do. And you're like, I want to be them. And I'm always like, don't be me. Be you. This can be an inspiration. I'm certainly inspired by other creators and people who I've seen do things that I'm like, that is really cool. I love that they did that. And I'm interested in doing something similar to that. And then supporting their work and engaging with their work. And not necessarily always agreeing with every little thing that they do and not trying to copy their life. Just simply being inspired by it. You can receive messages You know, you can see people online who are posting all this different types of knowledge and all this information, and you can take from that information what is resonant with you. You can read books, and when you read these books, it's like, wow. For example, The Power of Now, great book, very popular book. I've also read A New Earth by the same author, Eckhart Tolle. Great book. Love the book. Highly recommend it. It means nothing if I read these books and I don't actually take the knowledge that I learned that rang so true to me and actually apply it to my life and to my practice and to my work. It means nothing. And for me, you know, what I share and what I do with people is I do inner child work with people. I'm actually actively doing inner child work with myself constantly. The things that I'm sharing, the workshops that I'm sharing with other people, it's always work that I've done also for myself. And not just done it in the mind, but like fully embodied the lessons. So that's why for me, I'm moving in integrity as far as sharing that particular work with people. And I've recently had a crazy experience with someone who, like, when I met them, I was like, oh my gosh, this man knows so much. He gets it. He's so understanding. He's so spiritual. And then I started to, once I got to meet him in person, I got to like really witness him. At first, everything still seemed crystal. But then all of the bullshit surfaced. And I'm like, all this bullshit is happening underneath you, you know, being a shaman and a teacher. I've been bamboozled. I've been tricked. I've been led astray. All because I'm focused only on what you're saying. And I'm not looking close enough at how you live your life and what you are doing. And it's a disservice. It's truly a disservice. People who are in the healing realm, who are offering services to people, and they're not living by the things that they're teaching. They're telling people to be honest, and they're not honest. They're telling people to take care of the earth, and they're not taking care of the earth. They're telling people to respect women, and they do not respect women. And it's sad. It's sad. So that's that on that. That's what I wanted to share with y'all. Do the work, really. Don't just learn it and then immediately feel like now you're the teacher. We are always, 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 always the student. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Don't feel like you know so much that now you're better than anybody else. Because the moment you start thinking you better, now you lost. Now you think there ain't nothing else for you to learn. Now you think there ain't nothing else for you to integrate. Please, humble thyself. Stay on the ground with it. In fact, get into the ground. Get into the roots. And that's when it's really, really going to click. That's when it's really going to click. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I would love to hear what y'all think about this. And please share with me any experiences you have, or if you've been thinking about this same topic. I would love to break it down with y'all in the comment section below. So I appreciate you for listening to me give thanks. And of course, I hope you find serenity.
Hope you find serenity.